The following is based on true events. In 1972, as the Vietnam War entered its final brutal years, American combat forces were steadily withdrawing under Nixon's policy of Vietnamization. But U.S. Army operations continued, where the 101st Airborne still ran missions in the Central Highlands, just west of Laos. This is the story of one man caught in hell. Some men went to war because they believed in something. Others had no choice. And some went because there was nothing left for them at home. Tony Carston was one of those men. He returned from Vietnam in body only. His medals, discharge papers, and official records came home. But the man himself had been left behind somewhere outside Ban Don, buried beneath monsoon rains and jungle rot. By April 1972, the skies over Vietnam hung heavy with heat. The monsoon hadn't yet arrived, but the air already stank of rotting foliage, burned diesel, and days-old blood. Tony was 26, though the lines at his eyes suggested someone older. His expression was hard, unreadable. He had the stare of a man who had zipped too many body bags and stopped asking names. Earlier that month, Sergeant Carston had dropped into a hot LZ on the Laos border, ropes hissing through his gloves as he fast-roped from a UH-1 Huey chopper hovering above shadowed treetops. The clearing below wasn't secure, not even close. The moment his boots slammed into the earth, tracer rounds stitched the tree line behind him. Someone yelled for cover. Someone else was already down, screaming. But Carston didn't flinch. He swung his M16 forward, low-crawled through the underbrush, and pushed deeper into the jungle with the rest of his squad. That was where the mission began. Later that day, Tony moved through thick undergrowth, his uniform soaked in sweat and jungle mist. The sharp smell of crushed ferns and cordite hung in the air. Ahead, he spotted movement. 3 figures crouched near a fallen log, rifles at their sides. They were Viet Cong, young, exhausted, out of options. He raised his weapon and barked and clipped Vietnamese for them to drop their guns. They obeyed, trembling, each laying down an AK-47 on the jungle floor. Slowly they sank to their knees, hands on their heads. His platoon sergeant, a lean, weather-hardened man with dead eyes and an Alabama drawl, appeared behind him. "Sergeant Carston," the E7 said, eyes locked on the prisoners. "You need to handle these gooks." He didn't wait for a reply. He turned, hitching his rifle rig over his shoulder and yelling at 1st and 2nd Squad to move out pronto, Ranger file. Meet at the rally point in 10 mics. And with that, the platoon was gone, disappearing into the brush. Tony was left alone with the 3 prisoners. His rifle lowered slightly. The men kneeling before him didn't look dangerous anymore. They looked like boys. He stared at them in silence, then looked away. Days later, Tony was back in another unmarked military truck, rumbling down a muddy jungle trail with no unit insignia, no flag, and no plan to speak of. Just another operation of search and clear. He sat in the passenger seat beside an older American operative. Maybe CIA, maybe not. In Vietnam, titles didn't matter. Only survival did. "You know this isn't gonna work," Carston said, finally breaking the silence. "It'll work long enough," the older man replied. "You want out? Step out now. You'll be knee-deep in mud and mortars before sundown." Carston didn't hesitate. "No, I'm in." "Then shut up and check your rifle." He did. They were heading toward a firebase that didn't officially exist, sent to extract someone whose name wouldn't appear on any POW list. The jungle closed around them as they neared the rendezvous. At the pickup point, the radio hissed with static. "Bravo 9, this is Vulture's Nest," came a voice through the noise. "Be advised, extraction's blown. LZ is hot." "Copy that," Tony said. Adjusting route, we'll take the river trail. The older man lit a cigarette, nodding slightly. Hey, Carston, you ever think about what you're gonna do after this? He asked. Tony stared straight ahead. No point, he said. There's no after for guys like me. The mission failed. The prisoner they were sent to rescue was already dead. Carston barely made it back across the border. He never talked about the Nam. He just drifted. Some men were made by war. Others were unmade by it. Tony Carston became something else entirely.